Good morning, Year 1, and welcome to today's English lesson. Now, we're going to start today's English lesson by doing our spelling test. Now, don't worry if you don't get all of these right. We're just going to see how much you know already. So, I'm going to say a word. I would then like you to write it down. Do the best spelling as you can. If you need more time as I'm saying the words, you can pause me and then unpause me when you're ready for the next word. So, the first word I'd like you to have a go at spelling is first. First thing in the morning, I like to do a big stretch. First. Your next word I would like you to write is next. Next to Marvin is Molly. Next. Well done. Your next word I would like you to write is need. I need 5 children to take something to the office. Need. Well done. Your next one is lots. I like to have lots of cake. Lots. Great work. Your next one is mouse. There is a mouse on the carpet. Mouse. Fantastic. And your last one is our longest one, and that is something. Something. There is something hiding in the bushes. Great work, Kieran. Let's have a go at spelling them out together. Let's have a go at doing our spellings together. Now, our first one that I asked you to write was first. So let's have a go at writing first. So, f. First. Now, if you got that right, you may give yourself a little tick. If you got it wrong, don't worry, just write it next to it. Done. Our next one was next. So, na, next. Next. If you got that right, you may give yourself a little tick. If not, write it next to it. Your next one was need. I need to see Year 1. Need. Okay, give yourself a little tick if you got that right. Need. And then it was lots. We are learning lots of new words this week. Lots. And a tick. Then it was mouse. There is a mouse in my house. Mouse. Now, mouse is one of those words that always tricks me. I always write mouse like this. What do I forget? There's a secret E on the end, isn't there? Mouse. I always forget the E. Do you always forget the E as well? It's just something you've got to learn to remember. Mouse. And a tick on the end. And our last word was our longest word this week, and it's 2 words put together, and that's something. So the word something is some. Now, I know that you know some is not spelled like this. We are not doing maths now. This is not how we spell some when we are writing something. So, not that, some. This is some, now we just need thing. Something. If you manage to spell that word, give yourself a tick. If not, don't worry, just write it next to it. Well done. Right, let's go on to do the rest of our English lesson now. Okay, Year 1. On here, I've got some aliens. I've got some alien cats, I've got an alien dog, I've got an alien giraffe, I've got got another alien dog down here, and I've just got some really random aliens all around the board. And what I thought might be really nice today is, whilst we're waiting for Bob to find his best friend ever, we should design him a best friend. So you've got a really special job to do today. You've got to go around your house and find something to make Bob a best ever friend. Now this, you might want to do this with Play-Doh, you might want to do this with Lego, you might want to do this with cardboard, with paper, with glue, with scissors, whatever you're allowed to get out at home, and make sure you check with your grown-ups first. I want you to have a go at designing a best ever friend for Bob. Now I'm going to show you what I've started to design. So when I was hunting around the classroom, Miss Johnson said I couldn't get too many toys out. She said I wasn't allowed the Lego out because they're for the key worker children. She said I wasn't allowed to get out the scissors and the glue because I'd just make a mess and she'd have to clean it up. So instead, what Miss Johnson's given me is some Play-Doh, a pipe cleaner, some pegs, and some diamond jewels. And what I'm going to do is I've decided I'm going to make Bob a best ever friend. And if you remember from yesterday, my best ever friend is India. And India is my dog. She looks like this. And what I like about India is that she has a nice squidgy body. So what I'm doing here is with my Play-Doh is I'm just making a nice squidgy body for Bob's best ever friend. So this is going to be my friend's body. And on the top I'm going to make him a head. Now we've got to think about what Bob would need as a best friend, because we already said that it would be needed that Bob's best friend would need to know about space, and also he'd be fine going into space, because flying a rocket is quite tricky. If you've ever been on an aeroplane, you'll know that sometimes your ears can pop as you go up, and that can hurt. So we need someone who doesn't mind going up into space, who doesn't mind flying in rockets. And as I said yesterday, I get quite sick if I'm flying, so I don't think I'd be a very good friend for Bob. So we need to make sure that someone is good, best for Bob. We want him to have the best friend ever because he has such an important job. So I think I'm making sure that my person is quite small as well, because in the rocket it might take up lots and lots and lots of room, and the rocket is quite big, but Bob is also quite big, so I don't want Bob's new friend to take up too much room, because then Bob won't be able to do his job. So what I've done here is I've made a head, and I've put these on there, and I'm going to pretend these are antennae. So these are the antennae for Bob's friend, and he's got his nose here. And I think what I'm going to do is going to use some of these diamonds as eyes. And because this is an alien, I'm going to not put just two eyes like I have. I'm going to put more than two eyes. I think I'm going to give my alien friend 3 eyes. So I have an eye per antenna. So I also think Bob's friend probably needs to be one that can go quite fast, because if Bob is having to move around the moon quite a lot, then he'll need a friend that keeps up. So he probably doesn't want to be friends with a turtle, because a turtle probably won't be able to keep up with how fast Bob needs to go. And he probably needs one that is quite got quite a lot of muscles and able to move around, because can you remember what I said about being on the moon, how the moon is it has no gravity, so you can only jump and float around. You can't just walk on the moon. So we need one that doesn't mind jumping too much. Who's good at jumping? Kangaroos are very good at jumping. So maybe Bob might want a friend that is a kangaroo. He might want a monkey. That might be a really good friend. He might want a friend that is very good at hunting for aliens, because Bob doesn't think there is aliens, but he does check in the craters every day to make sure that no one's left behind. So if he had a friend that had lots of eyes, they might be able to help. or a friend that had a really long neck, like our giraffe, because then they'd be able to look into craters better than Bob just flashing down his torch. So what I've got here is my body, and I'm going to put on some legs. Now, I'm going to do my legs like a dog, so there is on either side, but instead of having 4 legs, I'm going to do 6 legs, because I think 6 legs will be better. You'll be able to move faster if you had 6 legs. So I've got 6 legs, and I've got my head with 3 eyes and 3 antennas, and I think I'm going to use my pipe cleaner as a collar and a lead, because although this is my Bob's best friend ever, he likes to walk around and run away, so Bob needs to keep him on a lead. As you'll see here, this is my best friend ever for Bob. He's got 3 legs on this side, 3 legs on this side, 6 in total. He's got 3 antennas on his head and 3 eyes for extra good looking. I've put a collar around his neck with a lead so that Bob can walk him around like this. And I've given him a nice strong body that's quite smooth. So your job today, Year 1, is to find stuff around your house to make Bob his best ever friend. Now, don't forget to think about what Bob needs, okay? Don't get Bob something that will not like being in space. Don't get Bob something that will take up too much room. So I don't think an elephant would fit very well in a rocket, so maybe not an elephant. But then also don't get something too small, because space is massive. You might get lost. So if you do Bob an ant, he probably will lose it, because it will just float away. So make sure your best ever friend for Bob is suitable for Bob and everything he does. Okay, so that is your job today. I can't wait to see what you come up with. Have a nice day.